Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
RoadToRuta.com. So much going on, it's hard to keep track of everything. But silver is at $32.97 and up today. Found out a new way, a really good way to kind of keep an eye on where the bad guys are going. If you go into AI like ChatGPT or Grok, I like Grok, but if you go in there and say, based on Ted Butler's work and how he analyzed the silver market, where do we stand today with the commitment of traders and the price of silver? Should the price of silver go up or down based on where the commitment of traders is? Now, this is a calculation that Ted did all the time. Yeah, I had it for a while, and we lost Ted, unfortunately. And so I always like double guess my numbers are. So I started using Grok, and it works great. I mean, it makes it so easy. You just ask a question, and it goes in there and figures it out. We're at a good point for silver. So yeah, the price is up 50 cents today. It should be up 50 cents based on the commitment of traders report. We're not in a position where the bad guys are going to slam it. Now, that might come in the future when they go short, but right now we're not. So it's allowed to go up. There'll be little spikes down and crap like that because of the computer rigging. But it's a good position, still a good time to buy silver, but nobody's buying retail silver. Now, on the wholesale side, yes, of course. There's literally, and that's all that really matters when we're thinking about how do we get the price of silver to stop being suppressed by the criminals, HSBC, JP Morgan, Bank of America, the banksters, basically. How do we get rid of them? It's not through the retail buying. And we've tried it. Max Kaiser had buy silver, kill JP Morgan. I heard that took off about 10 million ounces out of the exchanges, but that doesn't even matter. I mean, 10 million ounces is nothing. 1 billion ounces is nothing. And on a commercially run rigging operation endorsed by the U.S. government, endorsed by the regulators, it's not like they don't know what's happening. We've been screaming it for so long. The last Trump administration took down JP Morgan for the exact thing we've been screaming about. People tend to forget the JP Morgan takedown, I think it was 2019, was basically caused because JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, was trying to destroy the economy for Trump. Trump said, screw you, I'm going after you. That's kind of that's how they got that big slap on the wrist. But it's not like the CFTC didn't know what was going on. We already heard from Bart Chilton years ago, almost a decade now, years ago that they knew the price of silver was rigged, but the commercial, the answer. This is what the CFTC said, according to Bart Chilton. That's what they told him, was that a political decision was made not to stop the rigging. I guess that's that sums it up right there. Do we have free markets? No. But okay, I find it very interesting that there's very little retail buying, but the price of silver is right near that breakout point of $35. Once we break 35, it'll probably run and hold 35. It'll run quickly to 50. Then we have a new situation. I don't think, judging from what's happening right now, where the retail buyer still isn't in, even though silver's hitting pretty much highs for the last 5 years, we're up there. We're right up there, and nobody's getting in. I think nobody will get in at 50 on the retail side. They'll just wait. They'll wait for the big slam. And when it goes past 50, that's when people will start scrambling to get in silver. Because there is no resistance after 50. 50 is all-time high from it's 49 something. Intraday 50, I think, maybe. 1980. So, yeah, how much money has been printed since 1980? 45 years ago. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? Gold's hovering around, 400 times its 1980 high? And silver's hovering around 60% of its all-time high. That's just crazy. But hey, there's lots of crazy things. Who was it that said markets will stay crazy? It wasn't crazy for longer than you can stay solvent. And that's true. I think Buffett said, don't tell me what to buy, tell me when to buy it. That's true. So yeah, a lot of good times coming for the long suffering silver holders. I think silver will run before cryptos run. I think silver is what to have, what you want to have during the collapse. There's a few things. As far as gold being up 400%, yeah, that's fine. It should be. Silver should be up a lot more than that. But again, who owns all the gold? The bankers. What do the bankers want the gold price of gold to do? Go up. Yeah, they're doing that. They control the markets. Bankers do not want silver. Silver is the bank killer. So yeah, they don't want silver price of silver to go up, so it hasn't. But the reason we're investing is we know it's been artificially suppressed for way too long. The Silver Institute numbers are the most ridiculous thing ever for private road members. I posted about what's going on with solar. Yes, the solar industry is still cranking out gigawatt after gigawatt after gigawatt, year after year, massive amounts of silver being used, and the Silver Institute lied again, 2 years in a row. The year before, the price of silver, or the amount of solar, increased 76% or 78%, and the Silver Institute only said 34%. The same thing happened last year. I mean, they're getting so far behind, they don't know what to do now, because the amount of solar installed was 35%. And the Silver Institute came up with 2%, but they changed the historical number to make it 3%. That's how desperate these people are. They know this game is over. It's just how long can they kick the can down the road? It's been a very long time, especially in silver. Do I think it's going to last? No, I don't. I think way too many people know about silver. Any gold investor who has a significant amount of money in gold should be swapping at over 100 to 1. This is crazy, over 100 to 1. And you can see historically, it even looks crazy, right? It's never over 100 to 1. That one time when JP Morgan rigged it to 125 to 1, but it was a blink of an eye before it went back down. So yeah, if you have gold, swap it for silver. If you love gold, swap all your gold for silver right now, and then swap back when the ratio is probably about 2 to 1, maybe 3 to 1 would be probably a long-standing future gold-silver ratio, but it'll overshoot. I think it'll go 1 to 1 at least. I'd probably sell half my silver at 1 to 1, just because there'll be better things to invest in. But yeah, everybody should know there's about 6 billion ounces. The official number is about 6 billion ounces of silver and 6 billion ounces of gold above ground. That's the official numbers. Nobody really disputes that, other than Jeffrey Christian. But nobody really disputes that. And yet they're fine with 102 to 1 gold-silver ratio, when silver is so much more important than gold will ever be because of the industrial applications. So yeah, it should be obvious. But the only way to survive this, they can click a mouse and put the price of silver at minus $40. I've been screaming that forever. These are computer-run derivative markets. That's all it is. They can dump 3 billion ounces in 30 seconds on these type of markets. And they do, and they have in the past. So yes, the only thing you can do as an investor that wants to profit from being in the right place at the right time is get physical silver in your own possession and watch the chaos, because the chaos is coming really fast. Anyway, I do want to talk about this. Theta Fuel versus Theta. I think it's turning out to be a little bit like the gold versus silver ratio. Theta Fuel is so much more useful than Theta. I love Theta, the governance token of the Theta network. The Theta network is going to be the most important crypto out there by far. But Theta Fuel versus Theta Fuel is going to be the one that's used, and the numbers are wrong. So if you look on CoinMarketCap and you look at Theta Fuel, it says there's 6.19 billion total supply of Theta Fuel. What they're not factoring is how much TFuel has been burned. 25% per transaction. So it's not 6.9. The actual number is closer to, there's no official number, about 957.5 million TFuel have been burned. So we're under 6 billion now, which crypto investors, they don't think about this stuff. They don't even know what Theta is. Crypto investors love them. I've been with them for a very long time, but they're meme chasers. They chase the shiny object. They don't do any analysis on what they're actually buying. What is the dynamic? Why would Theta Fuel do better than Theta? Is that even possible? Well, yeah, if everybody was using an edge node and you're doing millions and trillions of transactions per day and burning 25% on those transactions, that's going to be spectacular for TFuel. So there might be a crossover between TFuel and Theta. Now they're both being held down for whatever reason, mainly because crypto people don't understand that Theta is literally a tech company with a software, an edge node that you can run on your Android phone, you can run on your computer and earn TFuel by sharing your capacity. People say, well, I would never allow people to share my computer. That's just begging for someone to steal all your stuff on your computer. Well, the reality is you do share it all the time. You're watching this video, you're opening your computer to the world. And that's, anytime you go online, yes, there's a possibility that someone can crack into your computer. But, if you want to keep your computer offline, you're not going to get much information, right? And there are a zillion different security tools and functions. Some are good, some are great, some are crappy. Always do two double authentication for everything these days, because anybody can hack anything. You can't hack the blockchain, though. People don't understand. You can hack a wallet, potentially, but not the blockchain. So, yeah, if anybody says, oh, they're just going to hack Bitcoin. Well, you can't hack Bitcoin. There's nothing to hack. It's an open ledger. Why would you care if somebody hacked Bitcoin? Voila, all you got to do is pull out the Bitcoin Explorer and you know every transaction. Nothing to hack. Now, the wallets are a different thing. Will the quantum computers be able to crack the way wallets are made and get to your Bitcoin? Maybe someday. But then there's quantum computing to try to do that, and then there's quantum protection, which is a whole different deal that would have to crack like a quantum many zillions of multitudes more powerful. And yes, the wallets may change over time, but that's not a big deal. The blockchain's not going to change. And I'm a big fan of the Theta blockchain. It's far superior than the Ethereum blockchain. I've had more problems with the Ethereum blockchain than I can tell you. And when it's busy, it's ridiculously expensive. So Theta transactions will become more expensive as TFuel continues to rise. But I think TFuel, as it has the adoption, especially the hybrid cloud, that hybrid edge cloud that's coming, decentralized edge cloud that's coming June 25th. It's the latest big move by Theta. Theta is just doing everything right. So here's, I want to show you this thing. The latest thing is Theta Edge Cloud selects AI research by Stanford assistant Professor Ellen Vitrick. How big is this? Yeah, it's gigantic. If you're a tech company, you want to be part of the Stanford mindset and brain connections and technology that they're going to add to the Theta Edge Cloud. And because it's all about partners for Theta. Google, Samsung, Sony, you name it, everybody's wanting to partner with Theta. And now we got Stanford, the number one tech institution on the planet, probably, right up there. MIT will come in next, I guarantee you. Why? Because Mitch Liu went to MIT to get his undergrad and then Stanford for his graduate business degree. So, yeah, Theta. And here's another thing, and this is it really brought home. My son turned 26, and I took him and his roommates out for dinner, and we talked about, the first thing that came up, they were talking about Theta, because they know I'm into Theta, but they also were talking about AI and how AI, they're looking to either change jobs, or some of the guys looking to get like graduate degrees and stuff like that. And they're like, we don't know what to go into. What kind of jobs will there be available after this? When when AI is fully implemented on the planet, what jobs could there be? Would there be? And it's very difficult. I can't imagine advising a kid to go to school to be a lawyer or an accountant or an engineer when AI can do all that stuff in a matter of seconds. So what do you do? What do you do? My advice was the only thing you can do. One, figure out what you enjoy doing because this is your life you're talking about. You want to do something you enjoy. But two, you have to have a foot in AI. You have to have something that you will profit as it takes over everything we do, or at least help you survive. That's the beauty of Theta is anybody can run a Theta edge node on their phone. Well, iPhones are coming, just Android phones right now. Yes, it's limited to the amount you can make on your phone versus your computer and hard drive and all that, but you have to get involved. That is literally the only. It's not necessarily Theta. You can work for an AI type company, but Theta is probably the out of all the potential things, like you can invest in NVIDIA, stuff like that. You can do that. But at the same time, you can become involved with Theta. If you have no money, but you have a cell phone, that tends to make sense to me because the whole world's going to be doing it. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe in cryptos or not, Theta's a tech company with a crypto component to make it work. People wouldn't share all their hard drive and their processing power and their broadband. They wouldn't share it without some kind of incentive. That's where the crypto incentive comes in. So yes, I think absolutely you need to be involved in Theta, especially if you plan on going to college to get a degree in something that when you get out in 4 years, you won't have a job because that job will be taken over by AI. The current ratio is 18-1. I think this is going at least to, well, in the frenzy, as more and more people come online, like billions of people coming online with Theta. Holy crap. I think Samsung and Sony and Apple and all these, the hardware companies are going to just install Theta edge node on every device that they put out. Pre-installed. Because it can assist in paying your bills, making money, things like that. And right now the ratio is 18-1, but as I showed you right here, where is it? There it is. That TFuel supply, it should be 6.9-1, but actually the 0.9 is wrong. It's less than 6 million TFuel are available because of the burning function. As more and more people get on, more and more will get burned. Now, at some point, there's not going to be enough TFuel. So as a Theta holder, you're going to probably vote, because you're in charge of that blockchain. The Theta holders will say, we need more TFuel. And you'll give some to yourself, obviously, like Theta's done it before. The governance token of Theta is very valuable in that it can decide to make more TFuel. And how will it be distributed? Probably some to the Theta holders, the Guardian nodes, and then the edge nodes will get most of it, I would assume, because it affects their bottom line too. But there's a lot of ways this could go. The key is, though, getting involved. Getting involved. So how do you do it? You can do it on SimpleSwap, simpleswap.io, not .com, simpleswap.io, and you can trade, I think, anywhere. You can trade one crypto for TFuel. And if you're kind of literate on cryptos, you can do that. You can figure that out. It's pretty easy. The other option is to go to Caleb and Brown. Now, you won't find TFuel on Coinbase, Kraken, or Gemini yet. That's one of the things that Theta is going to do. Theta Labs is going to do this year is get a mainstream. Somebody said even Robinhood might carry it. I don't know. You got to get it in your own possession anyway. So if you can get it in your own possession through Robinhood, that's fine. If it's a derivative, forget about it. But it's coming this year. If you don't have someone, you don't know what to do, Caleb and Brown, we're partners with. Go to Road to Ruta affiliates. Caleb and Brown, we've been partners with for a long time. They'll speed you through the setup process. Now, I hear Canadian users are having there's issues with Canada cracking down on their banks and all that. Canada has turned into the one of the least free market type of places, which is very sad. I love my Canadian friends. and they're pissed off that their government is turning into a sad woke type of patheticness. And it's painful when you switch from the woke world to free markets to conservative ideals and ways to run things. Otherwise, I mean, just look at the crime in California has gone through the roof. It's getting better in places like San Francisco. I hear it's getting better, but it's got a long way to go after the woke, retarded, yes, I'm using the word retarded, politicians literally destroyed one of the best cities on the planet. And it's still not even close to what it was. Not even close. And I think it'll take a decade to get it back. But it is coming back. But not many businesses are going to come and work in San Francisco. It's a recipe for losing your ass. Anyway, so yeah, check out Caleb Brown. Yes, you're going to have to give him your ID and all that. That's the future. There's no getting away with that. Away with anything in the future. AI will be crawling up our ass. No doubt about it. Privacy will be a huge part of what goes on because it's so easy with AI and with all the devices out there to track people and spy on people. And that's going to be a big issue politically because we can regulate it such that anybody who does it gets life in jail. Or the penalties for screwing with the system are going to be huge, even for governments. And governments looking to for some kind of authoritarian control, look out. The people will rise up against the actual people who vote this shit in. California is the worst. California is the worst place to live right now, and I live here. I'm born and raised here, and I'm going to go down with the ship fighting, but it is just horrible. The laws they're voting into existence, these people need to be exposed and need to be removed from office. Crazy old Gavin Newsom don't even ask me where his family comes from. He'll be gone. He won't be around much longer. And no, he's not going to win president. The funniest thing, I'm looking at AOC and Bernie Sanders getting together, thinking they're going to make a run for office. Are you kidding me? I mean, I can't think of, AOC is just a ridiculous joke. Like, literally. I thought it was a joke when she got hired. She answered a casting call, literally answered a casting call. She was the bartender for Who Wants to Be a Politician, funded by George Soros. And she answered the call, and it's so pathetic. But hey, welcome to America, right? Anyway, that's what I got for you today. Again, silver is where you want to be for now. And then when the gold-silver ratio closes in, maybe 10 to 1 or 15 to 1, remember, that's the old gold-silver ratio, because that's what they had above ground. Today, we don't have that above ground. We have 1 to 1 above ground, and coming out of the ground at 7 to 1. So somewhere between 7 and 1 is where it will probably level out. Probably 3 to 1 is my guess, but I think it'll overshoot that. So, yeah, obviously, silver is the place to be. Make sure you get as much as possible. All right? That's what I got for you. This is Bix Weir, roadroad.com. If you want to subscribe to the private road, get all this information. We're currently giving away, yes, 1 Veritasium token. That damn token that Reggie Middleton created and the U.S. government shut him down, and then they gave him 7 patents on DeFi. Is it 7? No, that's not 7. Is it 7? It's quite a few. And he's got more in the hopper, by the way. So yeah, you got to have Veritasium as an insurance policy for all your other cryptos. So we're giving that away with a 1-year subscription. Go to roadtoroad.com. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.